I think we should begin with what is virtual production, but particularly from like point of view of someone like myself who is a researcher. I love filmmaking, but still somewhat outside of the industry. So let's begin 2,000 years ago. Some guy named Motsu in China. He's a philosopher. He created the first camera by capturing light from a hole in a tent and projected it onto the wall inside the tent.
So this could take more than 4 minutes.
So this could be called like the first movie.
Uh-huh.
And so he uses a quality of light, which how he created the first camera, and pretty much same principles are used in our cameras now, which like the one which I'm looking right now. And so now jumping to 20th century, we started making our modern films, and so we use front and back projections. And so it's something which is that you use a projector, project a pre-recorded scene onto a screen behind the subject we are filming. Moving forward, we started using green and blue screens. So the technology allowed us to put the environments onto those screens after the filming and into our editing and post processes. I think moving further, we started using, again, pre-recorded projections, but this time they were digital, and those were like huge LED walls around the subjects. And in films like Oblivion or Gravity. Now we move somehow nearly to our present day, and what we did is that along the way this idea came that why don't we connect the camera to the LED wall, and instead of having pre-recorded LED screens, we have dynamic 3D environments which moves as the camera moves, revealing its 3D elements, so mimicking somewhat real-life location. And so that happened because of the computing power and also the game engines becoming more sophisticated as they evolved. And now, the current day, Mandalorian used the method we are talking about, which is what we call, let's say, virtual production. And ultimately, we got, like, at a most rudimentary level, 4 elements, which is a camera, that's from my understanding, trackers, LED wall, and a game engine. And so, yeah, just kind of it works is that the camera is connected through trackers, and the LED wall is showing what is in our environment and actually moving as the camera moves. So now you can see, as I've described how I understand it, is that everything about this method is about what is in front of our camera and the subject we are filming, but not what is behind the camera. So it's some way this method is not built for it. And this is the key point, why we are here, I think so, and that's what we are trying to do. It's the method we are trying to build, that how can we make this space as immersive for the people who are in this space other than just the subjects we are filming. And then how can we simultaneously create an in-person event and film virtual production videos for sharing it online. And so I think this is why TEDx and virtual production, because what better way to test it in a place where there are audiences listening to the speaker, and we are filming, which will go out for online audiences. And I think the idea, and John, I'll come to you now, the idea was that we shared a video in our first TEDx of this clip from Prometheus, which had a future TED talk. And so we were thinking, how do we create TED Talks which are much more engaging, but also shot cinematically so that we can enhance this communication of our speakers' ideas?